cheers and enjoy this. Yes, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and welcome once again back to the channel with me, Disco, coming at you with some more live beer reviews from in front of the cans and bottles here at the bar, what I'm still exclusively calling the Disco Arms. Welcome along, the third night in a row for some live stream beer reviews. Mainly because, I had a bit of time after last week's shenanigans, and Lord knows I had plenty of beer to get through, and yet I still managed to find myself ordering 6 more beers this very morning that I don't need, but it's a disco beer. Welcome everybody watching, either live or after the event, and as always, the legendary Mr. Wilson, thank you very much for popping in, as always, absolute star. Full of interesting beers. This Wheat Beer Wednesday. 3 wheat beers lined up for you, including what I think is possibly the first exclusive, well, not really exclusive, but maybe the first live review of this beer, certainly on YouTube. I'm not one for rushing out and getting hype beers. I don't do the putty, but even though I try to mug people off saying I've got a can of the putty last year. But yes, a beer only released, or at least only advertised, promoted, as you will, over on Instagram this very afternoon, and I've already got a can sitting in the stash. I'll tell you more about that when we get to it. Let's dive straight in with the first beer. Got a couple to go before that, and we are, as always, unable to find the thing because it's hidden there. I've got to move them up and work out where to play them from. But beer number 1, please. Beer number 1, we are going international again. Oh, that white can's getting a bit of glare. That's just off the screen. But yeah, we are over to Japan for still not the last in the series of Japanese beers from the Japanese beer box I got in way back in about March, I think it was. And I still haven't quite got through them because I haven't quite known what to do with them, really. Should have probably done them all, like, as Japanese beer showcase or something. This one fits nicely into Wheat Beer Wednesday. It is a Belgian style wheat beer. I'll tell you what I have just seen. I can't remember if I ever did can balances on 330s. I'm not sure it works so well. I don't think the weight is there. No, they do. Well, there you go. Should have actually seen which way around I'm doing it. Oh, but I can't get it back now. I can. Ta-da. There we go. Thank you for the reminder, Mr. Wilson, as always. A superb can balance on a 330 in a Belgian style white ale, white beer. Many different names. Depending on whereabouts, basically, as far as I can tell, whereabouts in Europe you're from. There's a lot of white glare off that screen, so we'll put that down there like that. So yeah, can balance. See if I've got that in one. Yeah, it's there, that'll do. I'm only about 6 reviews behind on Instagram because I didn't actually get around to writing up last week's reviews because, you know, a bit busy on Monday. Didn't quite get around to it on Tuesday either because I was messing around, but there we go. There's the can balance and the beer in the glass. Forgot about the banner though. This one. This one is, brewery I know nothing about, of course, being from Japan. It says YoHo Brewing, but there's online it's a slightly different name. Still fair fizzes into the glass, plenty of carbonation, which you don't necessarily need on a wit beer. Very translucent, not very cloudy. I tend to think of wit beers being a bit cloudier than that. But there we go. Prepare to be disappointed on beer 2. Hope number 3, the better version, where you've seen the thumbnail. So we shall see. Yeah, I mean, I'm always possible disappointment at any beer, really. Henry 420, thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing all right. And contemplating having a beer. We've got some beer on. A Staropramen. Solid. Solid. Not the best of the Czech lagers, but properly solid still, just about. Mr. Wilson, let me know if you've got a beer on. Let me know in the comments if you've got a beer, drinking along, especially the third one, whether you've placed an order today for that one. There seems to be a little bit of excitement over on Instagram for it, so I did slightly shoehorn this one in. I did have a slightly different thumbnail up this morning, but then I realised that the beer in the middle, the Dark Revolution, I already did on the last Wit Beer Wednesday, way back when. So I didn't actually need to do it on a live stream again. I've already done the thing for it, but I had a little rethink, because I might not be able to do a stream. I might not be able to do a Thursday tipple stream tomorrow. What with one thing and another, depends where I actually end up tomorrow. May still get a live stream away. We'll see how that happens. That's something to, see how that goes, basically. So not much head development, but it's kind of sticking around on a very, very thin layer. Like I say, lemon coloured and very, very translucent. I can see myself through there. I don't know if you can. Probably not with those optics. Mr. Wilson just chucking in a cheeky little Cloudwater Chubbles. Rather you than me, so fair play. Staropramen better than Stella. And yes, definitely cheaper. Yeah. There's probably not a large amount in it, because it's probably 2 very similar beers, being at Stella's SARS hops as well, I think Staropramen is. But yeah, decent Czech lager, to be fair. Not a problem with that. So yeah, let's have a little sniff. Yeah, very light malt note. Very, I don't know, it kind of, this is going to sound weird, smells as thin as it looks in a way. It's kind of like a sort of fruit juice, barley, water kind of look. Never mind, it's cold, it's been in the fridge, so should be all right. And it's Japanese doing a Belgian style beer, which doesn't have to be Belgian, you brew it anywhere, as they've proved. Right, cheers. Then we'll talk about the beer and see what we get. I think the 2 beers, Japanese beers I reviewed before, one was a wheat beer and one was a Weird Beer Wednesday, the sweet potato beer, which was pretty good and wasn't like assimilating any other style, particularly an amber ale, I guess. And I think the Hefeweizen, although from a different company, was again a bit like this. They've given it a good go and got fairly near the mark, but it's not. It's sort of like I don't know, it feels like they've missed out one small percentage of ingredient or something that hasn't quite got where you expect it to be. It's got most of the right notes, definitely. It feels a little sort of thin and kind of, like I say, barley water, as I've said before. Definitely all the right notes. A little bit saison-y. I don't think like wild yeast or anything wrong with it, but it's a little bit saison-y. It's got that kind of like coriander, mostly kind of lemon. A lot of people say about Hefeweizens, they've got that kind of bubble gum. This has got a kind of bubble gum note. I'm not sure it's meant to. Drinkable though, drinkable. Yeah, that was a shock to me that Stella Artois uses SARS hops. I don't know what else they use, but yeah. But yeah, definitely so much more flavour in Staropramen. I don't know if Staropramen does use SARS hops, but it's Czech, so it'll probably be one of those noble kind of hops. Yeah, probably fruit flies, man. I seem to like the beer. Yeah, you probably just got used to the averageness of Stella, I guess. White gloves, thanks for popping in again. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Yeah, the Hackney Church. Yeah, I just said just now, like, I wasn't meant to do 2 Hackney Church beers tonight. I shoehorned the other one in. I was going to do it tomorrow with some other beers that have been given to me, but I might not be able to get a chance to do a stream at this time tomorrow. So I thought I'd shoehorn it in, especially because I saw a lot of interest over on Instagram just now. People going a bit nuts for it and ordering it. So I thought, well, I've already got one in. Bit of a YouTube exclusive. I'll tell you about how that came about later. Well, yeah, because Stella's gone down a bit, hasn't it? So yeah, yeah. So a little bit of kind of coriander, lemon peel. I say a bit more kind of, I don't know, everything is a lemon bubblegum flavour, but it's kind of got that bit of kind of chewiness, slight little bit of not quite pepperiness, but sort of savoury on the edges. Quite sticky sweet. That's why, like, again, I'm getting like foam banana sweets as well as that. You know, with that kind of there's a fair amount of softness despite not being a massive hazy boy. The development's kind of sticking around. I think being only a 330 can, although there's not a lot of difference really. 100 mils, 100 mil, you take that in a mouthful, but I think it's a fairly easy drinking one. It's fairly easy drinking, very near the mark, although not quite got quite where I want to be for a white ale. I say it's from Japan. It's imported. Again, I did on the previous. What was the one? Put it up there. Well, I've got a whole box of random Japanese beers in and snacks and some Korean stuff too. So yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this. Suiyoubi no Neko, which I saw on the internet today means Wednesday cat. How appropriate. How appropriate. You know, I like a random shoehorn, a random connection in as well as with my themes. So yeah, apparently that means Wednesday cat. So this cat's drinking this beer on a Wednesday. If you like that kind of random stuff, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Oh, I'm gonna have to do that too a session now. And it's not me telling that, it's Henry420, so cheers for that stuff. Stella's 4.6 now. I thought some Stella was even lower than that, but Star Palmer, yeah, resolutely 5%. I think you can get stronger Star Palmer as well. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of Japanese, but on here, but they do put a UK label on there to tell us that it's imported by Tazaki Foods of Enfield. Not as romantic as the Far East, is it? Although Enfield is kind of fairly east, northeast. So a good list of ingredients. Coriander, hops, obviously, doesn't see what. Coriander seeds, orange peels, acidity regulator. Ooh, don't know about that. That's where that kind of sort of, unless that's for water, unless that's for the water, like the alkaline and acidity on the water. I'm not sure, but acidity regulator sounds like an E number, doesn't it? Oh, here we go. It is an E number. Acidity regulator E338. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm so keen on that. They actually list CO2 as an ingredient, which is, I'm not sure they need to. That's just a natural byproduct of the brewing process. Oh, flavor enhancer E290. Yeah, I'm not sure there's any need for that. Obviously, you can get away with that in Japan, but you don't see that too much here because, well, there is no need for it. Why would you need a flavor enhancer just to brew or flavor some beer? So a little bit disappointed in that. Yeah, the flavors are there or thereabouts, but even with all those flavor enhancers, it's not quite hitting the mark for me. But there is some kind of good kind of coriander, citrus peel notes. For a 5% beer, I like the lemon kind of notes to it rather than as much as I like orange, but that's what they've done rather than orange. But yeah, I don't like to see that flavor enhancer. It's like it's one step away. At least they're a bit more honest about natural flavorings. I hate that on beers. There's no need for it. Just the beer itself is a natural flavouring because flavours come from the hops or the yeast or the adjuncts. So yeah, 5% on a PD. Fair play. I know neither own a PD nor am likely to, or I'm likely to buy any Stella anytime soon. To be fair, yeah, shouldn't. Yeah, don't really see the. Don't really see the need. Yeast and hops are flavour enhancers, so just use them, innit? Adjuncts are flavour enhancers as well. But yeah, let's go a bit natural, eh? I mean, it's all right. A bit disappointed with that. Some nice kind of notes, but yeah. A little bit of lace in there. That's a good point, to be honest. Appreciate the honesty. Lots of UK's brewers doing the same, but not declaring it. I mean, there's always some sort of chemical element to beer anyway, isn't there? But it just depends how much and what you necessarily put in it. I'd quite like to know what other ones do it without saying. Belgian brewed in Wales or Stella. Fair play. Well, that has gone fairly quickly. Should be pleased to note, but leaves us time to talk about maybe the bigger beers, etc. If I can find this card, where's it gone? We'll move swiftly on to beer number 2, please. And beer number 2, as you've probably seen on the thumbnail, because I like to put the beers on the thumbnail. Let's get that there out of the way. Is a grand yellow can, which may look awfully familiar with that branding, sailing very close to the wind of cease and desists. Weetafix have even got a little dot above the eye that looks very similar to old cereal boxes from back in the day with the yellow and blue branding on that. Obviously, clearly going, as it's a wheat IPA, going with the Weetafix branding. How they get away with it? Again, got this way back in the spring when that pineapple Weizen book came out at PJT and sorry, Rate My Beer and Real Craft Beer were in on. So I feel a little bit like I've kind of slightly stolen a march, certainly on PJT, because I know he likes to do Hackney Church beers. Sorry, that's the next one, not this one. I've seen loads of people, I've seen loads of people do this one. I know Paul's beer reviews, I really enjoyed it. I watched his review, I think, before I picked these beers up. So, yeah. Did you have your Weetafix? I did not today. I'll tell you what, for breakfast a bit later. But yeah, I long since I have long since been having beers for breakfast, even breakfast stouts. I did do a little video a while back. I think it was a video on here about breakfast stouts for breakfast, and I cheated slightly by doing it at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I think that's when I put it up. But yeah, so I'm not sure this is a breakfast beer per se. But let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. So it has been sitting in my stash for a little while. It's been sitting in the fridge all day. So it's a slight mixture of styles. It's an IPA, so there's a bit of a hop note, I guess, coming towards me. I hope it's refined and gentle and sits alongside that wheat beer. Staying a big and frothy on the head development. See if I've got enough. A bit more, I think, whilst I fluff around with the can balance. One of these is going to go terribly wrong at some point. Oh, that one seemed to go nice. So yeah. So yeah, obviously Weetafix 2 to 4, being it is a wheat beer. It depends what the quota of wheat is in it. It's got to be over 51% to call it a wheat beer, mind, but I'm sure that's not a problem. That's not going to look great, but it is nonetheless there. So that was once again getting far too fussy with the photographs. But it's there. It's a a really fluffy kind of head development there going on, but quite large in some of the bubbles on the top. So quite what I want to see, but you never know. Should be right. Oh, fuck. See, done all that and still managed to nose it up by just ham-fisted, heavy-handed numptiness. Where were we? Yeah, so Mr. Wilson, very annoyed with this one when I tried earlier in the year. I'm not sure I've ever been annoyed by drinking a beer. Been annoyed certainly by reading things like natural ingredients on the side of a can. Normally a breakfast at 1 p.m. Yeah, I used to be like that because I used to be getting up and in a rush and trying to get to work and not have time for breakfast. These days, I live a much more sedentary or relaxed lifestyle, especially about work. Work hard, don't get me wrong, but I don't have to go in stupid o'clock in the morning very often, so I'm quite pleased at that. Yeah, catch it a bit, Henry. Yeah, I'm very interested to know what the annoyance was, Mr. Wilson. It's seems an odd beer. I don't know. It is because it's a mix of styles, I guess. Again, that head development, plenty of carbonation racing up the glass, much more opaque. Can't quite see through it. See a few colours, but lots of carbonation racing up the glass from the centre point. There's a little bit of a whirlwindy tornado going on in there. Yeah, definitely has got that kind of wheaty appearance to it. We we do when we actually have any available. Very not embarrassing, but there was a councillor come around today was very interested in some of the beers, and we didn't have any because we sold out over the weekend. When the weather's like this, got people up the farm all the time. Very small amount of cans, just by batch size, really available because obviously we save a bit for pouring on the bar. Even more difficult this weekend when we had a lot of beer go out to the beer festival and then people came up and that was it. I think the only thing we've got at the moment is a stout. Also, you have a lot of problems at the moment. We've got to work out what we're doing with couriers. We found a great courier and we used them for a couple of months and then they got bought out by DHL because they were that good. So I'm not quite sure on DHL. Are a bit more picky about what beers you send out, and because we haven't got enough cans going out available, we haven't got enough deliveries to go out. So we've got to sit and work out what we're doing about that one. Basically, we were going to do another canning run this week, but off the back of the beer festival last week and a few other things, we just haven't got that much done this week off the back. We've still got stuff to sort out from the beer festival and that. So I've absolutely no idea when the next lot are available. I thought it might be this weekend, but it's me and my boss doing the canning. We have fairly small batch canning from the batches of beer that we produce. We have got some in reserve that we can. It's just a case of having the time. So can't even think off the top of my head what we've got in there to can now. We've got to go and sort out the fridge after last week. I hope that's not industrial espionage. I hope I'm allowed to say that. I'm going to get sacked for saying we haven't got any cans in, but yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, watch this space. That's why I haven't really that much talked about our own beers. We've got a wheat beer on the bar, and I was going to put it in this wheat beer Wednesday, but I went with these two instead, mostly because I went up today and still forgot to bring a can of that home, and we haven't got any cans of that for sale. As one I put aside, and I forgot to bring it, so that was a wheat lager. So that's another time. Don't often get Wednesdays for doing live streams because I'm normally up there brewing on a Wednesday. We just took it a bit easy this week for various reasons. So yeah, no brewing this week. Just cleaning. Always cleaning. There you go. If you come over on Friday evening, I shall be on the bar, but practically no chance of getting any more cans available on the bar by Friday because we've got other stuff occurring tomorrow. So it'll just be the cans of stout we've got. So potentially next week I will, of course, let you know when we do actually get more cans. But like I say, as soon as we get cans on, we normally go on the bar on the weekend. We might get 50, 100 of each cans, and they usually go fairly quickly. But yeah, it's most likely to be next week for any amount of cans, as far as I know. Yeah, so this one, let me have a sniff whilst we. In my opinion, I did not like the Weetafix, nor like a wheat beer. Shared some with two more people who said the same. Well, I guess there's some definitely wheaty notes in there, some light malty notes, a little bit of citrus. I guess because it's a sort of mix of styles. You don't see too much in the way of wheat IPAs, predominantly kind of barley malt rather than wheat for your regular IPAs. And I'm not sure wheat and you have a massively hoppy IPA with a wheat beer. You normally think wheat beers are more kind of noble hops, more standard. A little bit of citrus, but that generally is lemon because in a wheat beer you might put like your coriander as well as your lemon peel or your orange peel to go that kind of route. But yeah, 9 p.m. on Friday. Oh, cool. Yeah, we don't close exactly bang on 9 o'clock. That's just getting in basically. So we're not in a rush. But yeah, if you do, yeah, come see us. I'll be on the bar, or I might be playing Skittles out the back. Just ask for Disco. We'll find you. It's not a massive place, so I'm not hiding. I might be out the back playing Skittles or any of the other bar games we got at that point in time. But yeah, I'll be around. That's the plan anyway. Right, let's have a little look at this one. Yeah, like I say, a little bit of that kind of wheat beer, kind of coriander, kind of lemon peel. Again, more lemon. I will get onto drinking it in a second because I want to get onto the third. Cheers. Okay, yeah. It is very much a strange mix of styles. Fortunately, for an IPA, you know what I'm going to say next, don't you? No grapefruit. It's definitely very lemon scented or sort of centric, not scented so much. There's a kind of lemon peel note to it. Yeah, definitely a very strange mix of styles. I don't dislike it. You're annoyed by it, Mister. Well, I'm not annoyed by it. It's perfectly okay. It is a little odd. It's reasonably balanced. It's got that kind of slight lemon peel or not. I'm not sure. Oh, excuse me. Definitely quite carbonated. Yeah, it's got a kind of, it's got an edge to it. Definitely very lemon, but there's that kind of slight hop spike on the back end. Cheers, Shark. Yeah, I didn't even check, seeing that Shark is in. Did I check dates? I forgot to check dates on the Japanese beer. I bought it way back in, I think, March. It says 2505. Also says D1/1 divided by 17. So I'm not sure what that is all about. So I'm guessing it's May, which seems only bought them in March or April is a little bit tight, but you know, it's fine. Didn't taste too much out of date, so it's all good. Grapefruit, add grapefruit juice. No, I don't possess any grapefruit juice. I don't possess any Stella. Like I say, I saw Paul's beer reviews do this one, and he really, really rated it. Obviously, he did it much fresher in the spring. What I'm not getting, this is a point, and I see Miss Hills has got a sort of a point of it there. If you're going to steal someone's intellectual property for can art, make a better beer. Oh man, rented. No, it's a fair point. I don't think it's necessarily a bad beer. What it's not is like, it's not going to remind you of Weetafix. It's as as David says, they've taken the intellectual property, they've taken the artwork, knowing that they're going to get told to stop, so they simply stop. I don't have so much of a problem with that because it's kind of, it's like stealing someone's YouTube video, but you can do it as long as you make either a pastiche of it or use it in a different way, like to what it is now. So it's not a bunch of liquidized Weetabix. So they haven't done that in a way. They've used the kind of artwork, font, and brand style, but they kind of have made a different thing. It's not reminding me of Weetabix in any way, unless you have a bowl of Weetabix with lemon slices. Who does that? So it's not. Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Mr. Wilson a little bit. I can see what he means. I can see what you mean for sure, David. It's not Ronsu. It's not what it says on the can. You know, we've got a picture of Weetabix. That said, I suppose it is because it's got all those. It's got the kind of elements like the Belgian style wit beer. So it's got that because it's got that citrus note. It's got a little bit of that kind of lemon peel kind of, and slightly lemon pith kind of bit of back edge, like an IPA might have. So it's got a bit of a hop note to it. I wonder what the hops are to make it an IPA. It's got the body. It's got some bulk to it. It's a kind of lemon IPA, really. So it has got those wheat beer notes. It's just, yeah, it's a bit odd. I don't dislike it. I gotta be honest. It doesn't. Yeah, I just find that weird crossover. But I like weird beers, so it's kind of unusual. Nice bit of sweetness, going a little bit lemon marmalade. I'll be honest, I didn't get it in the fridge this morning like I should have done, so it could do with being a bit colder. But yeah, it's going lemon curd as well now, for me. So there's good sweetness, which you don't necessarily get in wit beers. Wit beers are more about the kind of savoury, kind of bittery notes of citrus peel, rather than the sweetness of, like I say lemon curd or even lemon marmalade. I don't dislike it. I find it very drinkable, even though it's kind of a bit odd. I am slightly concerned though for the next one with what's in it, because I can't. I foresee a clash of flavors. If you're talking about IPA, lemon is fine. It's a citrus IPA. But what's in the next one is just kind of weird. I'm both looking forward to it and a bit of intrepidation, to be fair. Yeah, exactly. I take what you say about the intellectual property. It's got to be a good beer. I don't think this is a bad beer. I think there's lots to find. Again, it's difficult for me to say because I've sort of left it. How long have I left it? I don't think it's out of date because it should be a reasonably long date for the rest of the year. It does say, oh, here we go. Yeah, it says 25. Bit smudgy. So 4th for the 11th, 25. So plenty of date on it. Not going to get too much of that out. Branding is good, so the beer should be. Yeah, I mean, well, depends what your quality testing is, but you think most people ain't going to put a terrible beer out, or unless it goes terrible, but it's maybe it was not quite what they wanted or whatever. Maybe it's hit the mark for them. But I think if you test that fresh, you're going to say, well, yeah, it's a citrus IPA. Belgian beer is very tasty. Again, different. It's not necessarily Belgian beers. It's just the style. Like I say, this one, Belgian style beer, not quite hit the mark. And when you put it next to this one, it's very similar taste profile, but that one's got the big bulky. Again, probably that one's got oats in it, whereas that one hasn't. Maybe Belgian beers aren't necessarily known for that oaty kind of smoothness, which is fair. I'm glad somebody understands what I'm saying. If they had a yellow can full of lemons and called it lemon IPA, yeah, no problem with that. They're now on my do not drink list. Wow. Okay. Well, let's see what the third one does. Let's see. I take your point. But it's not. It was never going to be liquid Weetafix because it's not a thing. It would just be like there'd be no flavor. They've got to have some kind of adjunct or hops to make it kind of more than just wheat liquor. But yeah, it says IPA, so it's not going to be a wheat beer traditionally. But I take your point. If you don't like the beer, then it should be better. It's a fair point. I always look at the other kind of thing. Yeah, but for me, it's lemon. But again, different people, different palates, horses for courses, I suppose. I don't think it's a bad beer. It's got plenty of flavours to it. I quite like it. It's growing on me. Say with that sweetness developing, there's a little bit lemon meringue pie kind of thing going on. No, you're welcome. This is what I'll say. I mean, we sat and disagreed up the tap room. Do you know what I mean? Like still buying a bit, but yeah, different people have different palates and different kind of beer associations. We'll see on the next one. I might well be agreeing with you on the next one. I would, I mean, there's very few that are on my do not drink list, but that's not necessarily for their beer particularly. But yeah, we can disagree on it. And if you don't like a beer, you don't like a beer. God knows I go on enough rants, especially about people who use God in things. Anyway, beside the point, talking of God, how you doing, Mr. Blue Nose? A beer reviews and a very happy birthday to you for last week. I completely missed it, of course. I was busy working, aka drinking heavily for work purposes. Hope you are having a great week, Mr. Blue Nose. And we'll catch you soon, as always. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Yeah, so for a Weetafix beer, it's never going to be like... It was never going to be a glass of Weetafix because actually does Weetafix taste like? It's just, you flavour Weetafix with a bit of fruit and milk and stuff. Nobody eats Weetafix dry, do they? Well, apart from a couple of nutters, but there you go. Currently cooking steak on a barbecue because that is what I do now. I mean, he's become a man. And hopefully you've got a decent beer with it. Got to be cooking on a barbecue with a beer. It's not compulsory, but why not? I would. And he's on the Star of Parman. Well, Star of Parman, it's a gateway to Pilsner Urquell and Budvar. really. That's a good one. Yeah, is it marinated in beer, or have you got a beer with it? Yeah, I don't own a barbecue. I did have grand plans to be putting a barbecue out the back. I've just never got around to it. I've never. I love a barbecue. It's great. It's just grilled meat, but it's just grilled meat, and I'd rather just put meat in the oven. It's so much quicker. It reduces the drinking time. I just have a beer, put some meat in the oven, or fry a steak. Fuck it. It's the same thing, isn't it? Good evening, Paul's Beer Reviews. We were just mentioning your very good self, sir, that we were. I was watching your review of this a while back. It seems like a long time now. I've kind of sat this in my stash for too long. I've got another one actually, and I'm sort of like, I was going to do, because I want to do it. I don't know. I like this kind of put it in a theme, and my theme is Wheat Beer Wednesday, but I don't get a chance to do Wednesdays because I'm normally brewing on a Wednesday, and I haven't today. And I thought, right, bung it in, get it done, and also because I want to do the next one, which I also saw you talking about on Instagram today, and I believe you've ordered some. And yes, I hope Abby is doing good, like yourself, and you're having a great week, sir. I love a steak. Love a steak. Steak and beer. What can you do? Yeah, so I'm not quite as enthused, I think, as Paul was on his review of this one. It's sort of a three. It's like a 3-line whip. Paul loved it. I'm all right with it. David Wilson hated it, and it's like, that gives you a good understanding of kind of a broad range of palates. I think it's growing on me. I quite like the lemon in it. It's a lemon IPA, but because it's got that wheat background, I'm not sure about the wheat background. It's good enough, but I never really get it. But I quite like the fact that it's lemon. You know, I prefer lemon as a citrus end than grapefruit. I'm glad there's no real grapefruit note to it. The lemon is odd. It's very sharp. It's getting sharper. It started off lemon meringue pie. It's a little bit of lemon curd there now, and now it's kind of going slightly bitter lemon. Good stuff. Yeah. Good, as I say, busy. So busy last week, Ealing Beer Festival. I call it work, but I was just drinking heavily, research and all that, and also delivering a lot of beer. We went for a lot of beer last week at Ealing Beer Festival, being the closest brewery to the festival. They kept ringing up and going, "Can we have some more beer, please?" That's because it was really hot and everybody was really drinking heavily. It was good. Yes, the new Wheatos one I'm very excited about. Well, stick around if you want to hear about it, or obviously not if you want to do it blind. I've seen the Wheatos one poured. Had a can of it up at the brewery on Sunday. Actually, I'll get more into that when I pour it. I'll talk about how I came by a beer that has only just been released or talked about, although it was available on the website for 3 days. And they never really mentioned it to anybody until today. I had a can 3 days early. I feel a bit like royalty. Like I was given a can. And I'm like, wow. I never get an exclusive or a heads up or very rarely. I don't chase, being the first on the internet. But yeah, as far as I know, I am. So I'm going to push through this because this is actually, I think, quite a good beer. Quite nice. Henry, been busy recently, for no time, chilling with the Star of Prime. And yeah, man, cool. I guess, Paul, you're also chilling midweek, I imagine, or you just bored in the tap room. So against completely opposite today, Wilson, what he says, he was disappointed in this one. I quite like it. It's one, I've got another can of it, so it's one I could pull out and quite happily drink. Especially if I'd had like a big grapefruity IPA, I'd balance it with this. Do you know what I mean? I could get more. Like if I had a grapefruity IPA, I normally talk about pulling out a lemonade because I want to get it back to kind of lemon. But it's sort of this one. It's got those lemony notes, which sit well with me. There's no wacky or wild or too much out there. it's fairly drinkable to me. Again, it's coming back lemon meringue pie again a little bit now. What did I say about the can? I never checked out the can wrap aside from the artwork. Right, so this is what they say about it. Another QR code. Weetafix is a bold IPA with a creamy base of malted wheat, delivering a silky smooth mouthfeel and a fluffy white head of foam. They're not wrong. Here we go. Bursting with the vibrant hop trio of Idaho 7. Didn't we have Idaho 7 something else this week? In that one, yeah. Hop trio of Idaho 7, Cohere Nelson, and Eldorado. Eldorado we definitely had this week. Weetafix is a juicy delight filled with flavors of tropical fruits. Yeah, kinda. Pineapple-ish, maybe. Citrus and a hint of pine. Very, very glad. Thank you, Mr. I'm glad someone's paying attention, because I clearly aren't. Yes, didn't change the banner. So now I have. Thank you for pointing out, Mr. Wilson. Good man, sir. Oh, legend. Yeah, 5.5% wheat IPA on a Weetafix. Tropical fruits and a hint of pine. Fortunately, no pine for me. Kind of maybe that's that kind of slightly bittery back edge, maybe. Wrapped up in a hazy golden pour. That's as inviting as the first rays of the morning sunshine. Have you had your Weetafix? Even stealing the tagline. Why not? Fair play. Enjoy responsibly. And beer for all sorts. That's an entirely different beer. Beer all sorts, isn't it? Licorice and fruit. Yeah, so banging date. It's a grower. It's kind of grown on me. I wasn't quite sure at first, but once you get away from thinking about it being Weetabix, once you get away from that can art, for me, yeah, perfectly decent. Lemon kind of lemon heavy IPA. I say reasonable lacing, that head development, reasonable staying power on the lacing there. So yeah, a really nice, nice lemony IPA. Really, the fact that it's a heavy wheat malt bill. I couldn't really tell if you just put that in front of me, I would have gone yes, a lemony kind of pale ale. To be fair, so let me get this down hatch because we've got big things to move on to. So interesting one from Hackney Church. Cheers. Let me try and get that lemon out because I off my palate because I don't know what. What I'm getting on the next one, it's still an IPA, a wheat IPA, so who knows. Let me forget to change the banner. Yeah, he's put it on early. He's put it on early, fair play. What am I doing? Yes, I am taking that one off the stage and I am going swiftly on. As swiftly as I can scroll down and find it. Here we go. Beer number 3, please. On to not the beer of the evening necessarily, but we shall see. There we go. Also from Hackney Church, Chocorific, it says up the top there. Wheatos, it's called. Chocolate wheat IPA, 5.5%. So I'm guessing fairly similar to that one, certainly in the malt bill. Right, banner, as I've been reminded, let's do the banner. There we go. Hackney Church Brew Wheatos, 5.5% chocolate wheat IPA. Did I just say chocolate in an IPA? Yes, I did. But that's of no surprise, I guess. Let's get it out into a glass. I've seen what this looks like in a glass. And if you've seen Hackney Church's post on Instagram, so have you. Let's see if we can go 3 for 3 on the can balance. So let's do the pour first and see. Yeah. Well, I did see last time in a plastic glass, so it looks a little different, but it's kind of Coca-Cola like. And in that glass, no, there it is. It's kind of brown. I only saw it in the daylight, so in this kind of half light, it's a bit darker. Oh no, I've messed up the balance. I poured too much into the glass. You dickhead disco. On a crazy beer like this, I want a crazy can back. Oh no! Hey! Ta-da! Got a crazy angle on that can balance. Let's go with a crazy-ish beer. Chocolate in an IPA. I mean, why not? Do you know what I mean? Up at Brewery, we do some mad stuff, so why not? I'm gonna have to move that. Can't. Oh, that's not gonna work. Can't quite see the whole Wheatos thing. Looks really murky now. This side of the camera. I don't know how it is for you guys. It looks absolutely mud river water, and it's what I saw on Sunday when it was poured out into the glass in front of me. I didn't try it then because I knew I had a can and wanted to go and chat about it, but doesn't necessarily. But what it looks like, kind of very similar to the Choco Milk Stout we have. As I say, that is actually available in cans on the bar. It's got that kind of muddy kind of chocolate. In fact, Hackney Church themselves did say on that post, ignore what it looks like. Again, it's all about the can art, isn't it? It's slightly gimmicky, maybe. I can't get this to focus properly. Mad Professor on there as well. Looks kind of crazy. Now, oh no, that's not working. No, I've paused it up. Right, I'm not sure that's going to work, so I'm going to do a proper one just so we can see. Now I've turned it down a bit. It's got a reflection. It's so dark brown. The reflections off of the camera brightness is giving it, and it is murky brown, so I can't really get a good fix on the thing. I'm losing the right, that's it, no more, that'll do. I haven't got another can of it, so it'll have to be okay. Yeah, so muddy kind of river water brown, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It looks a bit like a brown ale, to be fair. Obviously, can't see through it. No carbonation. Doesn't look necessarily like Coca-Cola weak, though. Credit to Hackney Church. Yeah, I mean, it's not, well, it's not their branding, is it? They basically just stolen the branding. Well, I don't know. Have they? Because I don't really remember Wheatos that much. They got a thing on their website about childhood cereals. I never had Wheatos as a kid. I also never had anything. I didn't like Cocoa Pops. I couldn't stand chocolate milk as a kid. I'm not that fussed on it now. Although I have been eating Wheatos this week, so we'll. It was going to be anybody. It was going to be anybody. It was going to be you. Yes, I did go out and get a box of Wheatos just this week. Well done, sir. Yes, £3 freaking 30. So we'll try them in a minute and just see how much like Wheatos they are. Chocolatey hoops. This one is chocolatey hops, possibly. But yes, well spotted, sir. There's always a little Easter egg or something. But yeah, I've sort of been looking forward to this one because I have actually been eating Wheatos all week. 97p from Sainsbury's, the fake version. So we'll do a little comparison of them later. I'm so pleased somebody spotted it. I'm so pleased that we do. Right, let's have a little sniff, see what we're getting. Difficult on the third one because, bear with, the nose has been okay for the first two beers. Yeah, nose has been fine for the first two beers, so we've got some good lemony aromas. I'm not sure whether I want lemon in this one, though. I want chocolate because I like a darker beer. So here we go. Let's have a look. Yeah, there is a slightly kind of wheat beer lemony hop aroma going on. Just go a secret massive Wheatos. No, I don't ever remember eating Wheatos because I don't like chocolate milk. Don't like cold coffee. Don't like cold chocolate drinks unless it's a beer. So yeah, I'm suddenly less than sure about this one, having quite liked the Weetafix. So yeah, no drama. Big moment. Let's try Wheatos 5.5% chocolate wheat IPA. Possibly the first on the internet, which I'm quite chuffed by. I don't chase that, but I think I've stolen a march here. Cheers. Ooh, that is weird. It's weird in a very good way, and I don't. Yeah. Okay. This is going to be a divisive beer. I think a lot of people are going to hate that because it brings together two things for me in beer that I'm not sure should be there: citrus hops and chocolatey, slightly dark coffee, somewhere approaching what you'd expect to find in a stout or a porter. Yeah, for me, it looks a bit like a brown ale. And it's got that kind of slightly, yeah. So it's got American brown ale kind of hop note and a chocolatey stout. Let me go again. Oof, that's weird. There's three stages there. There's the initial kind of wit beer citrus, and it's lemon for me. Definitely lemon. There's four. So there's definitely that citrus up front. Then there's a slight. Let's try that again. Yeah, citrus up front. Then there's a very slight hoppy, bittery, like I say, an American brown ale kind of note. Then there's cocoa powder, or is it chocolate? I'm not sure. It's not. It's. I've got to be honest. I've said this on certain chocolate beers, some of the stouts from last week. You get the difference between Cadbury's Dairy Milk or lesser chocolates than that even, and your high quality green and blacks kind of dark, bittery chocolate. This is in the middle of some cocoa powder and fairly average chocolate. That doesn't mean it's bad, by the way. It isn't bad. It is very, very odd. I don't get chocolate and citrus. Last year at Beer Festival in Boston Manor, I had a stout from Colonel, who are de facto beer gods or whatever. I don't rush to Colonel. I will drink their beers if I see them, but I don't rush out and fawn over them particularly, but they are up there. But they had a citrus stout, and it was like grapefruit and chocolate, and that made no sense to me. Lemon and chocolate I have had, but I'm not sure. I did happen to see on that post today, they were talking about orange. And orange stouts, as me and Mr. Wilson found the other day, there was a stout that was described. I can't remember who. It was somebody out in Essex, I think. It wasn't Brentwood, but it was somebody like that. And it was meant to be like a deconstructed chocolate, Jaffa cake. And for me, and I never quite got around to putting the review out, but it was, I'm sure Dave Wilson will tell me which one it was, but it tasted like somebody had freshly squeezed a fresh orange into a random porter. So you had like bourbon biscuits and freshly squeezed orange juice. It was mental. they suggested we try it first. I said, no, mate, I think I'll be all right. But yeah, so like freshly squeezed orange juice into a porter. So it made no sense. I'm not quite getting that from this one. I thought I might. It's sort of, yeah. Obviously, it's really fresh. I'm sure it was in a can last week or whatever. So it's got that fresh kind of citrus on the nose. The orange peel is more orange peel. So it's very much like a wit beer now. A lot of people won't like that because it's so odd and unusual, I think. Oh no, not again. For fuck's sake. It's just my internet, isn't it? They're called Discos, it'd be all over them, exactly. Discos crisps are delicious. Have you reviewed them? Yeah, I have. I paired Discos crisps with a bunch of disco beers about 3 years ago, and I've got 3 packets, and I meant to do them. I meant to do them last night because with free beer Tuesday with the gifted beers yesterday because Dave Wilson got me 3 packets of Disco's crisps. So I meant to do them last night and then left them in the beer station. Completely forgot to get them out when I did them. Hopefully I'm back now. Nice. This would go well with that, to be fair. Oh, back but a bit blurry. Do you know what I mean? For a YouTube exclusive, a first beer and fucking YouTube, or is it O2? I don't know. I'm on mobile data. I don't do broadband internet. As long as the sound's okay. It happened the other day. Happened on Monday, and I had to stop the whole stream and start again. Won't be doing that now. If it really goes down the pan, I'll stop and just do a straight up video beer review and put it out as it is. Yeah, it's weird because the fucking internet's connected, but strength. Now I need to pay some. Disco Chris. That's the power. That's the power of beer influencers. Yeah, this is weird. It's going to get some. It is going to get ripped to pieces in some quarters for people who don't like that mix of flavors. They shouldn't be together, in my opinion. And I've had some beers where those flavors are mixed. This one probably does it pretty well. Citrus, chocolate, bit of coffee. There is a bit of orange there, I think, but it's definitely orange peel. Again, it does feel a bit like that. Now I say that, it feels a bit like that freshly squeezed orange juice stout I had the other week. Had last week with Mr. Wilson. Yeah, so picking up a multi-pack. Just gone to HO's website, nearly all their beers are sold out. So they only announced that this one has been on there all week. You just have to find it. You actually have to actually go through Google, just type in Hackney Church Wheatos through Google, and it was, I think, a bit of a glitch, and they found that out this afternoon. And I've been told by the person who gave this to me, I didn't buy this, by the person who gave me this can, that there was only 500 cans available. So as soon as it went on, I guess it went fairly quickly. Because it sounds daft, because it sounds a bit mad, it's the sort of thing that people were going for, and a lot of people were going a bit mad. So let's have a look on the website. Shop beers, like their website. And okay, so this one, as far as I can tell, is okay. I don't know why. It annoys me slightly why breweries leave stuff on that's sold out. If you've gone on there to change your price or whatever your thing to sold out, just take it off or put it in a little archive. The Mexican lager sold out. It's funny how the Agadoo is still available. what can you do? West Coast, yeah, a lot of stuff sold out, but this one is, as far as I can tell, still available. £4.85. It's not bad. It's not a bad price. It's not a massive ABV. Some people will be disappointed, maybe. Here's what they say about it. Remember cereal before school? Well, I often forego that because I was always late at school. I'm not a morning person. I definitely didn't have Wheatos. I didn't have Cocoa Pops either because I didn't like chocolatey brown milk. Remember cereal before school? This is like that, but for grown-ups and a bit unhinged. True that. We packed this IPA with a full spectrum of wheat malts, light, dark, chocolate, and Cara. Chocolate wheat. Thought chocolate malt was malted barley. Anyway, for a deep, toasty, breakfasty base. Oats add smoothness. I'm pleased with that. The oats definitely round out all those kind of citrusy flavours too. And cocoa husks from East London Chocolate Wizard Land bring the real choc hit. So having had a beer with cocoa husks in recently, again up the farm, but it was only a very small batch, didn't last long. I'm kind of all for that. I think this is a bit more cocoa powder than cocoa husk, but it's all much for muchness. Then we went full mad scientist with heaps of juicy hops, Wheaties, Crush, Cryo, and Amarillo, old school, for a bright citrusy lift that's a pure cartoon chaos in a can. It's chocolatey, orangey, hoppy, and nostalgic in all the right ways. Weird, sure. Wonderful, absolutely. Professor Wheatos approves. So that Professor Wheatos there is, I don't know, he's not on this box, is he? So I don't know, was that an old thing? I don't see the guy on this box of Wheatos, so don't really know. No, so he's not. There's some young kid on this one. So like I said, I picked these up at Sainsbury's the other day. Funny enough, when I picked those beers up, when I happened to be picking up the casks and kegs from Ealing Beer Festival, stopped at Sainsbury's opposite where I parked up the van. Got those in the Wheatos. So I mean, this tastes nothing like Wheatos. Let's be honest. Mark Jones, sorry, I have seen you in there. It is a right concoction. Greetings. Thanks for popping in and having a look. You'd probably hate it, I'm guessing, but if you get a chance to give it a go, you've got loads of Agadoo too. I've got one can left, actually. Love Wheatos, but not in a can. Yeah, again, the Weetafix isn't Weetabix in a can. It's not liquid Weetabix as such. Is this liquid Wheatos? I don't think so. Because of that hop heavy extra bit, I think it's sort of, it's not really wheaty, because Weetabix doesn't really have I mean, that smells chocolate. That smells more chocolate than that. You might think I'll do the nuts. There. Fuck. Be great if that worked on camera, wouldn't it? I don't know if that was in frame or not. I have no idea if that was in frame, but it looked good in front of me. Right. Wheatos. No, it makes no sense. That's not breakfast, right? Because of the citrus heavy hop notes to it. It kind of mixes with the chocolate, I guess. I used to be in boxes. Looks to be a direct lift. So yeah, because I don't remember boxes of Wheatos, I don't remember what they used to look like. So I've got no idea. I don't think flipping Wheatos into one's mouth is typical of a Plymouth fan. You wouldn't see Pie Face doing that, would you? Pie Face, YouTuber. Cola, bub. I mean, like I say, I've been eating these ones for breakfast this week, the cheap Sainsbury's version, and this is not a food channel. I don't generally eat on camera. I mean, can't really tell, but they actually look much more like this beer. So this is like a Wheatos ripoff. So that's, you know, there's definitely a different chocolate note. I don't know. It's the, I mean, basically, if you have a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice and then a bowl of Wheatos, this is probably where you're going with this, in a way, I guess. I'm trying to be serious. I'm not trying to be serious. Like, I'm trying to be serious about the beer because it's a really interesting take. I was told the first of its kind, maybe, I don't know. I do want to give a shout out, I forgot to say at the start, how I've managed to get this beer 3 days in advance of it actually being not released, because it was released at the weekend. They, as I said, I was told they had 500 cans. They were selling it at the tap room first, and they've now put it online, like we just saw on there. But a friend of the brewery, John the Poacher, absolute East End legend, worth checking out his stuff. He's not heavy on the social media, but does all these kind of foraging type stuff. He lives over Walthamstow, Hackney way, so he's a kind of a bit of a legend around Hackney pubs. Does a lot of foraging walks on Hackney marshes, Walthamstow kind of forest at the moment. You know, big into his mushrooms. Does, you know, a lot of wild fruit foraging like plums and, you know, blackberries coming out now. Not heavy on the social media, but yeah, he's very, very, very knowledgeable on the foraged and especially urban foraged kind of food stuffs, really. Fruits, veg, mushrooms. It's called John the Poacher, at John the Poacher on Instagram. So he works or has worked with our brewery, knows my boss. So he occasionally pops over to the brewery with his dog Toby, beautiful, beautiful dog. And yeah, this time he brought us some beers, including this one. I didn't realize at the time. He said, oh, I thought you might like this because, you know, he knows I like dark beers. He's a big fan of dark and strong beers too. So he brought this can over. So massive thanks to John the Poacher. I mean to have a chat with him on film at some point, but he's not camera shy, but he's just getting on with his stuff, doing his thing. He's not really about social media and sort of, he just likes beer, drinking, likes people, chatting. Well, like me, he hates people, but he likes good people who talk about beer and food and stuff like that. So big thank you to John the Poacher for bringing me this. It's not quite exclusive, but hopefully the first beer reviewer. I never normally say that about being the first, but yeah, I'm pleased. I'm made up. Maybe the first YouTuber to try this absolutely mental can of something strange that things shouldn't really go together. I don't dislike it. I won't be rushing out to order more for 2 reasons. Mostly because I've got enough beer. I'm so glad that John bought me this can. It's absolutely brilliant. I just ordered some more beer this morning. Another 6 cans from Pomona Island. Again, just because they've got another disco beer. And I've got to do them again soon. I was hoping to do it on Friday, but I'm working. So that might be next Friday. And the other reason is, well, yeah, there's only 500 cans. I'll let everybody else have a crack. I probably won't be ordering any more. I'm so pleased to try it because it is something so utterly mad, utterly difficult. And Shark, if you're watching, so in date, it's fresh, almost fresh off the canning line. It would have been canned last week. So John brought it over to me on Sunday, and then he started talking about it on Instagram this afternoon. Oh yeah, so the stuff on the can is pretty much the same as I just read out, to be fair. So Waiiti hops, which I don't know anything about, I'm guessing Antipodean or Pacific hops, crushed cryo and Amarillo. So yeah, I don't dislike it. I think it's stronger to the, like Dave Wilson was talking about, the branding issue, and like you've got to be a good beer to what you put on the can art. That one is definitely closer to be true to style than this one. I could be honest, I think I preferred that one, if only. I mean, I love a weird beer. I love something strange. Say, I'm not quite sure that juxtaposition between citrus and chocolate, but it is a good. I mean, there's not a lot of lacing left, but the head development is kind of staying. So, obviously, there's a little bit of alcohol legs there as well for only 5.5% beer, but it's it's a good beer. I mean, it's a bit of an experiment. It's a bold experiment in style, to be fair. I'm going to check with my boss tomorrow what he thought of it. I didn't see him drink it. I just saw it poured on Sunday. I think, in all honesty, I actually prefer the Weetafix because it's less out there. I like the lemon. I like the lemon meringue pie. I like that kind of lemon wheat note. They say the wheat's not strong. My class is getting all the 499 cans. I think you'll be in trouble. I don't think there's a lot left, to be fair. 500 cans is not a lot. Although there's not a lot else on the website. So, yeah. It is drinkable because it is just odd. It's got that slightly cloying orange juice note now. Yeah, orange. I've had a few orange and chocolate. Orange and coffee. There's a bit more coffee note there because of that cocoa kind of note. I'm not sure about orange and coffee. Orange and chocolate, it's very hard style to get right, as many other breweries have seen. Yeah, cheers. White God Sense, pop in for see Friday. See you Friday. Come and give us a shout. Yeah, have a great week. Yeah, so I'm there or thereabouts. Yeah, I like it. It's insane. It's going to cause a lot of people to going to cause a bit of hate because you know what the internet's like. They're going, oh, that's mental. That makes no sense. It does make sense when you look at it. When I look at it, it makes sense to me. I can see what they've done. I can't quite see why, apart from why the hell not give it a go. There is a lot of people like it. I would drink another one. Apparently, if anybody's going to, I keep getting the name of this wrong, whatever that craft beer festival in Greenwich is this weekend, apparently they're pouring this in Greenwich. Is it London? Is it London Craft Beer Festival or Craft Beer London? Whatever it is, apparently they're pouring this on Friday. We will be there. Perivale will be there. We have 2 kegs up there, and we have our Pilsner, nettle Pilsner, very crisp, made with actual stinging nettles from on the farm. We have that pouring there on Friday. My boss will be pouring, and indeed his boss, his wife, will be pouring on Friday. We also have a New England Pale Ale, the very Dodo, part deux, that will be pouring on, I think, Friday. So yeah, we have 2 beers up there on that one. So I assume you mean that you'll be avoiding this one. Fair play. More for everybody else. I mean, like I say, it'll be divisive. Well, it'll be on keg. So I know you had it on cask last week at Ealing. So it'll be on keg on Friday. Well, actually, I don't know. It might be one on Friday and one on Saturday, and I hope Very Dodo's on the Saturday. If it is, I can't remember the labels now, to be fair. I assume, yeah, I'm not sure if we've got both on or it's one day, one the other. I'm not sure how that festival works because I've never been. I'm not going, mainly because I'm working on Friday and I'm actually off on Saturday. And we'll see if I make it up there. I will be up there on Sunday drinking if anybody wants to come down. It's my birthday on Sunday, so where else am I going to go? Up the tap room for a few beers. Don't care about my birthday. Yeah, and was expecting to do the only one listed for Saturday. Right, so the Pills was on the Friday. Yeah, I always forget because I don't know that festival because I don't really go. I haven't been for the last 5 years. So yeah, so must be the Dodo on the Saturday and fair play. Right, so yeah, so the Dodo's listed for Saturday. So the crisp, I assume if it goes, whether they keep it on for the Saturday, but yeah, yeah. But my boss is pouring on the Friday. I don't think he's there on a Saturday because I think he's up farm. So yeah, look out for that one. That Paravel. Look out for this one. Craft beer. What's it called? London Craft Beer Festival, isn't it? I like it. It's interesting. It's different. It's a bit random. It will be very divisive because of that flavor mix. Yeah, I don't dislike it. I'm not sure I would rave over it, but I would try it. Obviously, I have. I mean, I think if I hadn't been given a can, I probably wouldn't have seen it, that it was available. It was only because I was looking at Hackney Church. And would I have looked at it? I don't know. Because I don't know Wheatos, because I never used to have them, and a chocolate wheat IPA, the IPA bit of it would concern me. Would I have rushed out and got a can? I don't know because, like I say, I don't need to buy the 6 cans I bought from Pomona Island today. But yeah, I'm so glad to have tried it. So I'm so pleased from John the Poacher. Thank you so much. And I've said this to him personally, that he bought me a can. He also bought me a can of stout from Pretty Decent. So I was going to do that tomorrow night. I don't think I will now for other reasons that might become apparent. But yeah, I'm pleased to have tried it because it is so mad and I like something different. I'm glad you guys come along and watched as well, especially those that might go on to buy it and review it, Paul. Thank you, everybody, for popping in and saying hello. It's too numerous to mention tonight, but thanks very much indeed. I'm going to knock this back and yeah, wonder what the hell I'm going to write about this tomorrow if I do it tomorrow. I'm actually off tomorrow, so I do have a bit of time, and I am now 9 beer reviews behind because I never did last week, so I might just bash them all out. I like to do the 3 from the day before I stream, and I never got a chance today because I was cleaning out fermenter and other stuff. But yeah, so I've been Disco of this channel, whatever you call it, and thanks for popping in. Thanks for watching. Catch you again soon. Maybe tomorrow. Not sure. Not sure over the weekend. I'm doing live streams or any content. I have got a video to edit, apart from the other 4 videos I'm going to go around to edit. Anyway, whatever happens, cheers. Enjoy the beers. If I don't see you this week, I'll see you probably next week. Have a good one. It's all about the beer. It is weird. It is weird. But yeah, thanks very much today, guys. Have a good one. And let's do the outro. If I can find it. Here it is. Oh, where's it gone? No, I've lost the outro. It was there somewhere. I've got to move this up. There it is. Yeah. Cheers. Enjoy the beers.